June 1873. Barrie, Ontario, a town of wooden storefronts and dirt roads where horse hooves echo against cobblestone, where gaslights flicker in evening fog rolling off Kempenfelt Bay. No flash of cameras to preserve the moment. No forensic specialist to examine blood spatter patterns. Only whispers pass between neighbors over garden fences. Rumors that spread through church pews on Sundays, and newspapers with smudged ink on yellowing pages. And on this gray morning, while dew still clings to unmown grass, a man is about to die. Across provincial newspapers, printed in stark black type between advertisements for patent medicines and dry goods, a brief but chilling report appeared. James Carruthers was hanged yesterday morning at Barrie, Ontario, for the murder of his wife. That was it. No lengthy examination of motive, no exploration of character, no sympathy for the condemned or his victim, just 17 cold words, a period at the end of a sentence that had already ended a life. But another newspaper, published the same week in the Toronto Mail, reveals the festering wound beneath this crime. The Carruthers home at the edge of Barrie stood as a battlefield long before blood stained its wooden floors. James Carruthers, a barrel-chested man with calloused hands and a reputation at the local tavern, shared the cramped 4-room house with his wife Rebecca, a woman whose once bright eyes had dimmed with each passing season, and their 3 small children who learned to vanish when his boots sounded on the porch steps. Their marriage had cracked like winter ice on the bay. Night after night, neighbors heard his accusations echo through thin walls, vicious claims of secret lovers, whispered meetings, forbidden touches. He would stare at their youngest child, a boy of 2 with Rebecca's delicate features, and declare to anyone who would listen that no son of mine has such a face. The Mail described a man whose jealousy twisted him like a disease, whose moods shifted as suddenly as Ontario weather. Tender words and small gifts on Monday, bruises carefully hidden beneath Rebecca's sleeves by Wednesday. And on that final night, as rain tapped against the windows and the children huddled in the corner, something in James Carruthers hardened like cooling metal. The empty whiskey bottle on the table told its own story. Then he looked at his wife and said words that would soon become prophecy. "Rebecca, you will fall tonight." He left the room and came back holding a weapon, not in rage, but with purpose. The newspaper describes it step by step, cold, deliberate. He removed his coat, set down the lamp, then struck her once, then again. The children ran, screaming into the night. Behind them, they heard the final sound, their mother hitting the floor. But it didn't stop there. Even as she lay dying, Carruthers reportedly said, "If she is not dead, I will kill her." The injuries were brutal, so severe that even the newspapers struggled to describe them. When the case reached the courtroom, his defense tried to argue insanity, but the jury didn't take long. The verdict, guilty. No confusion, no divided opinion. The punishment was decided. Execution, the night before his death. Carruthers reportedly sang hymns, calm, almost accepting. He claimed something else too. That alcohol was to blame. That without it, this never would have happened. June 11th, 1873. Barrie, Ontario. A crowd of 200 gathered in the misty dawn, their breath visible in the cool morning air. Women in dark bonnets clutched handkerchiefs while men removed their hats in solemn anticipation. The gallows loomed against the pale sky, fresh-cut pine still oozing sap where the carpenter's plane had smoothed the beam. And just after sunrise, when golden light spilled across the dew-dampened grass, the sentence was carried out. The bolt was drawn with a metallic clank, and the victim fell with a sickening snap of hemp rope and was launched into eternity. Death came quickly, his face purpling beneath the hood. But not instantly. Witnesses reported twitching fingers and spasmodic kicks, even minutes after the drop, as if life refused to depart without struggle. Even at the end, as the prison chaplain pressed a Bible to his chest, Carruthers denied intent, his voice barely audible through cracked lips. He claimed through tears that streaked clean lines down his unwashed face. Had it not been for liquor, he would not have been brought to this disgraceful end. A husband with calloused hands now limp, a father whose children would bear his shadow, a man consumed by suspicion that festered like an untreated wound, and a crime that ended not just one life but shattered a family like a mirror, each piece reflecting the same broken image. In 1873, justice was swift as the executioner's trapdoor. But one question still lingers in Barrie's whispered conversations. Was it rage that flared like sudden lightning,